The CSGO cheating scandal explodes after initial allegations of suspending 3 coaches now involves 25,000 matches being under review all the way back to 2016 and has another coach admitting to cheating for one of the greatest teams of all time. Plus, T1's League of Legends team is threatening legal actions after a deluge of death threats against their players and coaches after the benching of Faker. And Apex Legends removes a racial slur that was programmed into the game and recorded as a voice line after outcry from the Asian player base that the line was outright racist and offensive. All that and more next on The Breakdown. Welcome back to another episode all about esports and video game headlines. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Remember, if you ever have a headline you want to see on our channel, just shoot us a tweet at CheckpointXP. We're bringing you the latest in news you care about straight to your inbox. And all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. Now, without wasting any more time, let's jump into the news. CSGO cheating scandal explodes, 25,000 matches under review. The Esports Integrity Commission, or the ESIC, has announced that it will be launching an investigation into the use of a spectator bug exploit in CSGO, with evidence emerging that the use of it could go as far back as 2016. In case you missed it when it first broke earlier this week, it was initially announced that 3 coaches were suspended for anywhere between 6 and 12 months and had to give up any winnings from tournaments in which it was determined that they cheated, using an exploit that allowed them to place the camera of the coach's view in the map and essentially allowed them to spy on the opposing team. The initial announcement was pretty shocking, as it pretty much removed MIBR from being able to compete in the ESL Season 12 finals, and also saw coaches from Heroic and Hard Legion also banned from ESL and the ESIC. Check out this quick clip of what the cheating looked like from the MIBR coach. However, more coaches have now come to light as using the exploit, and we are sure to see many more exposed, as the ESIC is now saying that they are going to be reviewing 25,000 demos of matches going all the way back to 2016, including matches from ESL, DreamHack, Blast, WePlay, Eden Esports, UMB, UCC, and more. The weird thing though, the ESIC has given a confession period for another 9 days from the time of this video posting. During that time, if a player or coach admit their guilt, their admission will be considered when it comes to dealing out their punishments. So you can admit it, and you may still get in trouble, but it may not be as bad if you confess. This is crazy, and we're going to be following up soon on who else is going to take advantage of that confession period so that they can be punished maybe just a little less. T1 taking legal action over death threats to League of Legends team. Death threats are unacceptable no matter what they are over, but now T1 is making sure that the common practice of online harassment will be met with legal repercussions after their team's staff, players, and even some of their family members have been met with death threats online, pretty much stemming from the benching of Faker. A recent loss in the wildcard match of the LCK Summer Playoffs has brought up a new wave of these death threats, which prompted T1 to send out a tweet on their official account stating that they are preparing to take legal actions against these attacks. In fact, the death threats got so bad that the CEO of T1, Joe Marsh, had to even step in a few weeks ago and warn unruly fans that there would be consequences if it didn't settle down soon. If the onslaught of violent virtual attacks continues, we will explore legal actions to put an end to it. He even followed back up with another tweet just yesterday that said that T1 had warned people that there would be actions, and now those actions are here. Long story short, death threats aren't acceptable, period. Whether it's for the loss, the benching of Faker, or any other imaginable reason, esports have this weird veil of no consequences because the majority of what happens is online. It's super gross, and personally, I cannot wait for another idiot to tweet out a death threat and have a large legal issue fall into their lap because they don't want the smoke. Twitter fingers could turn into trigger fingers, so I applaud T1 for taking the safety of their players and coaches seriously and attempting to curb the onslaught of idiots who think that they can get away with it. Apex Legends remove racial slur voice line between characters. Yesterday, Apex Legends dropped another new patch to Season 6, and it grabbed headlines for reverting on the TTK, or time to kill changes, the game had made to their Evo armor. But buried in the patch notes was the note, removed inappropriate caustic voice line. Many wondered what the inappropriate line was, but if you're a part of the Asian community, you would be well aware after outrage emerged when the line was first released. In the game, characters have voice lines that change depending on the other characters that members of your team can choose, resulting in thousands of different lines of dialogue. The offensive one came when one character, Caustic, was speaking to Crypto, an Asian character, and calls him a dirty rat. Rat has been a slur directed at people of Asian descent since World War II, and the writers for Apex Legends have already apologized and professed ignorance to the situation. I, for one, am happy to see a game that not only listens to its players, but one that is focused on making sure that offensive stuff like racial slurs aren't included in their games. The game isn't really any different outside of the removal of a voice line, so why wouldn't you want to remove it? To make sure that it's an inclusive game, absent of literal racism? Way to go, Respawn. That's it for the news today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We are always posting brand new content here on our YouTube channel. But did you know that Checkpoint XP is the only syndicated radio show in over 70 cities across the US and Canada that talks exclusively esports and video games? If you go to our website at checkpointxp.com, you can see where we're airing and if we're in a city near you. My name's Weirdbeard, and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remake is pure remake goodness.